Hello once again, my twinkling stars, and welcome to yet another episode of your evening Reddit readings. I am your host Dusk, and in this video, we will be looking to r/StoriesAboutKevin, a subreddit where we read tales about the idiots of the world. In this video, we will be reading about how Kevin flooded 2 apartments, a creepy cashier Kevin, and 2 genius Kevinas who burned down a college dorm. This is one of my many stories about my upstairs neighbor, Kevin. Frankly, I have no idea how he did not get evicted yet, but his parents are very rich and pretty influential people in our little town, so I think that explains it. This is further supported by him never leaving for work and spending most of his time making my life just a little more interesting. I also want to say that he is the sweetest person ever, just a giant Kevin. The particular story starts with me coming home from work and wanting to cook some dinner. Everything was going well until I suddenly got drenched in water pouring down from my ceiling. I looked up and there was a hole in my ceiling. I rushed upstairs and banged at Kevin's door until he opened it, confused. After a brief talk, I found out that he was trying to repair his sink that was misbehaving, but he managed to break it even more, flooding his apartment. But not to worry. He managed to stop the leakage, and he had a great idea on how to fix the flood. He drilled a hole through his floor to drain the water. He was very apologetic and offered me baked chicken as an apology. Before I could say anything, he rushed to the chicken and returned in a minute, saying that he burnt the chicken completely. Then he offered me some eggs. Needless to say, I refused. As you can see, no day with him as a neighbor is a boring day. This is maybe the 3rd stupidest thing that he has done, but if he left, I would kind of miss him. For such a short story, so much has happened in just a single paragraph, from the flooding to the burnt chicken, to him offering an egg as compensation for all the damage he did to both his and your apartment. If this story wasn't posted to Stories About Kevin, I would have thought that OP just stole this from a comedy skit. I hope that OP posts more stories of their neighbor on Reddit, because I'm now curious as to what else this Kevin has to offer. I work as an assistant manager at a gas station. One day my boss Joe told me that we have a new employee coming in the next day, and that I am to train him and show him how to do all the tasks we have to do daily. Great, we need more people. The next day I meet him, creepy Kevin, a greasy looking 19-year-old in desperate need of deodorant and a haircut. His dirty hair stuck straight out a good 2 inches from his scalp, and he had a patchy, unkempt beard that he seemed absurdly proud of. Well, appearances aren't everything, though they are pretty major in a customer-facing job, so I ignored the physical appearance and started training. First was how to log onto and open your register. You had to log in with your employee number and password, which Kevin does so. I show him where the button to open his till is, and ask him to count the money in the drawer, showing him my count-on sheets from my register for reference. Kevin begins counting, and I take care of a couple of customers and then return to Kevin. "Done," he says proudly, shoving his count-on sheet under my nose. "Nice, let's check it out," I reply. "Nice, let's check it out," I reply, looking at his sheet. Wait, he has $32 in quarters, $19 in nickels, $7 in $5 bills? Something is literally not adding up. I look into Kevin's drawer. It looks like the usual amounts we start with. I asked Kevin how he came up with $32 in quarters. He said, "What? No, there's 32 quarters, and 19 nickels, and 7 $5 bills." He had thought I wanted him to count pieces of money. His words, not mine. After a mental facepalm, I correct his count and we move on. Upon telling Joe this story, Kevin earns the nickname Kevin the Pirate, counting his gold pieces. Arrgh. We never called him that to his face though. Kevin couldn't even make coffee. I showed him how. Showed him where to put the filter, where to put the coffee, everything. Kevin prepped it after I showed him, but a customer came in and I had to leave Kevin alone for a minute. I returned to find 5 filters in one coffee machine, 2 in another, and 3 in the next. I asked him why it was like that, and he said he knew I said 1 filter, but he didn't think it would matter. Why would I say 1 filter if it didn't matter? Kevin's first real customer service blunder happened the same week. I was not present for this one. A visibly pregnant woman came into the station to buy cigarettes. Kevin refused to sell them. Customer shows her ID, but Kevin still refuses. When the customer asked why, Kevin said that it was illegal to sell cigarettes to a pregnant woman. It is most definitely not illegal to sell cigarettes to a pregnant woman. It's frowned upon for a pregnant woman to smoke, but we cannot refuse a perfectly legal sale. Kevin was also a creep. He liked to talk about anime, which is fine. I enjoy a few anime myself. He mentioned watching anime with his girlfriend, and eventually also told me how old his girlfriend was, 14. As I said, Kevin was 19. Creepy. Kevin did not make it to a month of employment. Throughout the whole story, I was trying to figure out where the creepy part of Kevin would come in, as the rest of the story was just a dumb man doing stupid things. Until we got to the last paragraph. The 5-year age gap between Kevin and his girlfriend is something that makes you wonder if Kevin's loss of employment was actually from his moronic actions as a cashier, or if he just got busted for grooming a minor. Ugh. Even just saying it out loud causes me to wince in disgust. The culprits were never identified, but around 95, I was in a dorm at the Drury College in Missouri. It had a lot of people who were on the wealthy side, and the rest were almost all there on academic scholarships. We can assume these people, rumor has it that there were two, were one of the first kind or one of the second kind that is brilliant with zero common sense. My dorm was 3 stories with a big basement and a laundry facilities in the basement. Each floor had a central room with cinder block walls, a concrete floor, fire sprinklers, a metal counter with a sink in it, and a microwave nearby. This was where you went to microwave your bag of popcorn, throw the empty bag away, and then wash your hands and whatever you'd cooked ramen in earlier. It was idiot-proof. It even had a fire extinguisher on the wall. They were prepared for all sorts of drunk college shenanigans with the microwave. Or so we all thought. One night, we were all yet again rousted out of bed for a fire alarm. But this time, there really was a fire. Someone had wet towels and didn't want to go downstairs to dry them. Maybe they were short quarters and didn't want to borrow two. Maybe they were just in a hurry. So they microwaved the towels. This worked until the towels began smoking. Now, college students do dumb stuff. It's part of being young. But there was a metal sink right there. Did they drop the towels in it and turn on the water? Nope. The floor is concrete. Did they drop the towels there? If you guessed nope, I have a prize for you. That would have just resulted in a little smoke and a scorched mark on the floor where they pulled out and dropped the smoldering towels on the concrete. But no. These young geniuses went above and beyond on deciding what to do with the smoking towels. They threw them out into the hallway. The carpeted hallway. Surrounded by sleeping students. Apparently, as the towels spread out, the air reached the smoldering parts and the cotton started burning really well. Lots of smoke, and there goes the alarm. Cue some panic as they opened the doors to actual smoke. Good news is that the source of the fire was really obvious to the girls on the floor, and actual panic was limited. Thankfully, the dorm evacuated. Someone other than Kevina the Towel Bandit put out the fire, and we eventually got to return. We could smell the burnt carpet in the entire building for days. No one ever admitted to being the Kevina who chose a carpeted hallway over a big metal sink in a fireproof room after they microwaved their towels into smoldering ruin. I was told it was 2 girls. Apparently, Kevina 1 and Kevina 2 had 1 brain cell between them, and they left it in the microwave. There are a lot of questions that I have about this story, but all of them revolve around the rumored Kevinas in the story. Why would you microwave anything that wasn't food in a microwave? Why microwave only the towels? Why would you carry burning towels out of your fireproof room and into the carpeted hallway? I suppose the minds of the genius idiots of Kevinas are far too complex for the likes of us. They did get into college after all. And with that, the sun has set on yet another episode. If you enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment below on your encounters with Kevin or your own story of being a Kevin yourself. Finally, subscribe to my channel for any upcoming videos. Until next time, my twinkling stars, have a good night.